Hello, everyone. This is Federico Arellano. You can find my material at Arellano Yao with double L and a Y. Today, we have an amazing interview with a very particular guest. Hello, Kelly. Are you here with us?
Yeah, good day, Federico.
Oh, good day to you too. So, first things first, what is your name and where do you live? Where are you connecting now from?
My name is Kelly Daniel, and I'm connecting from Nigeria at River State.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. So to begin, can you tell us a little bit about who you are? How are you related to the entrepreneurship industry?
Okay, um, at first I'll say thank you, Aloriano, for accepting me here too. And as you all know, my name is Kelly, and I started all this about 2020 and the rest. So it's not easy, starting up things and learning. At first, you need to acquire the skills. So here in Nigeria, acquiring all those skills isn't actually easy. But the main thing is that you just have to be determined and have the courage, because most times you have to do what you love to continue. Because if you do things that you don't like, at first you sometimes you might feel it ojito, sometimes you might feel happy about it, but you need to do what you like, what you have passion in, so that no matter how the going gets hard, you just keep doing it and doing it. And the motivation which you have in learning it, that's one of the best things. Like when I started learning the my programming stuff, I was very motivated. At first I didn't know the advantages. I just loved the way it was. I kept learning it, and I kept on doing all those kind of things. So it's just the motivation. Motivation is the main thing about all this entrepreneurship.
So just to put the audience on perspective, how old are you?
I'm 15, but I'll be getting to 16 soon.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what were you doing back in 2020 when you decided to become a programmer entrepreneur? I mean, what were the things that actually led you to start studying and to take, this career path at such a young age?
At first, here in Nigeria, things are very interesting because you have different friends, and most times, by the way, the 2020 schools were down, so there was no
Hmm.
light from April. Schools were down, and I had a friend. So usually, after when we wake up in the morning, after we finish doing other things, we talk outside. We talk different things. Usually, we our motive is like, let's do something that will give us money, all those kind of stuff. So usually we play games as regular. Then one day he found out about blogging. So when he told me about blogging, they say, bro, blogging has money, all this kind of thing. I was like, okay, I'll check, because I'm a kind of person that most times, if the thing is interesting, when you tell me about it, I would like to go on my own and search more things about it. So when he told me about blogging, I was like, okay. So due to all those things, sometimes when I check out, due to that, during that 2020, let me say March, I was checking about the blogging, looking more things about it. Eventually, most times when you search blogging, you see make a website with coding, but due to some experience, because here not everybody really understand what coding is, so I thought the coding was about one and zero, one and zero. So I reasoned it and I say, you can't, no, I cannot do this. So eventually one day I just had the motive of actually going with coding, and eventually when I checked it, it was interesting. I had my first tutorial from Easy Tutorials. That was the first time I tried that coding, and
Wow.
it was very happy. Like I was very happy when I could even write something down. And but at first I nearly stopped, because the video I was watching, what the person was doing and what I was doing exactly the same thing, but
So just
it
just
didn't.
just a quick just a quick parenthesis. What was the first thing that you programmed this day that you're counting on us? Which was the first piece of code that you wrote? What was it about?
Well, the tutorial was about um how to make a website, a responsive website. But the first
Okay.
thing I was the first thing I tried after I learned some things was, like, because my mom was all this person that liked fashion and all those things. She loved dressing.
Mhm.
So I was like saying, let me try to make Rita Daniel fashion world. So I took some of the our pictures and some pictures online about fashion, and I was like doing the like now if tried, because I didn't actually screenshot it because I changed my OS and all those kind of things. I lost all those files. So when I remember what I built that time, when I reason how I did the color combination of I'll just put a box and I'll put it red, the next one blue, or then like wait, or am I the one who actually did that thing back then? I was like, wow, so that persistence can really change someone. And that time,
Definitely.
my mom wasn't actually around, but I was doing every chance I had. I was like trying to draw it out, and it was compared to normal website. If you looked at that website, it will look hideous. But when you say a beginner, when you say a beginner, and they look at it, they will know that yes, you are doing your best. So that was, I
Yes.
was very happy at that time.
Yes, that's an amazing story, actually. Um, well, Kelly, I mean, I have so many other questions regarding your story. I mean, first of all, I would like to ask for your opinion towards education. I mean, I was just watching this show on the TV, and they were telling which would be the big nations, the big great and powerful nations in the future. I would say 2100, right? By the year 2100, and Nigeria was actually in place number two because they said that Nigeria has such a bright future because of their population. I mean, that you guys are growing into population, and I have seen amazing things about Nigeria, especially towards technology. So I would like to ask, um, what do you think education should be like in Nigeria, especially for young people like you? I mean, uh, are regular or traditional schools in Nigeria teaching these entrepreneurial or programming skills at school, or do you think that they're not doing that, so they should just keep shut, right, and just learn through tutorials, through the internet, through different sort of education? What do you think the best education would look like for people like you in Nigeria?
Well, at first, the main thing is that yes, but like bringing the knowledge of, because most time most people don't really understand what the programming is. They
Hmm.
don't. Most people in Nigeria don't even know that the programming is what created the Facebook, the WhatsApp, and all those things. They just know that it's Mark Zuckerberg that created it, but they don't really know what or how he created it. Like now, if some people know that Mark Zuckerberg, because here in Nigeria we love money, so if they know that it was programming that made Mark Zuckerberg make Facebook. It was
Yes.
different rich people who did programming, all this kind of stuff. I bet you like 50% of the country will be doing programming, and many of them might be doing it as a hobby. So in the future, if the programming can be like, let me say, a side topic, because here most times not all the things that they really teach us are actually useful. Some things aren't actually useful for different people. That's so they're just adding load. So at first you just need to examine a kid or anyone and see the things that he's good at and all those kind of things, like set up something that to know like so person he's good at these things. So these are the certain things that he needs to learn to purchase this dream. And some people, because some of the things that they mostly teach in school, in the future we don't actually use it. So it's just like a wasted, though they say that no knowledge is wasted, but sometimes most of them aren't really useful for everybody.
Yes, especially in emerging countries. I mean, at this point right now, I am in Mexico, and and it's the exact same thing. I mean, you go to school and you learn a bunch of things. I would like to say a bunch of ideology stuff towards the national history and who were the good guys and who were the bad guys, and like you get a lot of this information. And I am not sure this information is really helpful for building a bright future. I mean, this information could be useful, of course. I mean, there's nothing to deny on this sort of knowledge, but programming, I think it's amazing, because me myself, I would like to say that I am one of the people that thinks that programming is just learning how to speak in zeros and ones. So it's not, Kelly. I mean, how would you define programming? Because I really have this idea that if you don't know how to speak in zeros and ones, then you're not a good programmer.
Programming is not actually zeros and one for me, because though there are some people who know those stuff, but it's just that programming is like setting instructions, like programming. That's why you hear programming languages. Like you are from Mexico, you have your traditional language. I'm from Nigeria, I have mine. So I eventually the languages at the end of everything, they have Python, they have Java, they have PHP and other languages. At the end, all these languages are actually doing the same thing. When they get to a certain place, they get converted to the zeros and one. It was back in the olden days that most, I don't believe, I don't really know if they actually use the zeros and one. But now the technology has advanced, so there's no reason for us raising our brains that much. So instead, there are a bunch of English-like syntax that when you write it, different syntax have its job. So when you mix different syntax together, that's when you make a system. So through the languages now, and most time not all language can do this the same thing. Some languages lack some things and some have a lot of things. Like Python has a lot of things because it has a lot of people contributing to the language. Imagine a language like English is widely spoken. A lot of people speak English. So you can't compare English to some certain language. So English has the upper hand than some certain language. So that's how the programming is. Eventually, they all do the same thing. But
Hmm.
which one does it best? Which one is more understandable? And which one is easier to use? That's just the difference.
That's that. Yeah, that's completely true. And now you made it very clear to me. Thank you, Kelly. Um, I would like to ask now, what is for the future with you? I mean, what would you like to do? Would you like to program games? Would you like to keep programming websites? Um, which would be the best case scenario in the future for you in particular, Kelly?
And actually, I won't like to program games because I've lost the inspiration about games. I'm not really the kind of person who love making games. I prefer making something like apps and websites.
Okay.
That's the one I have more motivation in. Apps, websites, and artificial intelligence. That's the only thing
Wow.
that keeps me motivated.
That's that's
So
that's abs- no, that's
games,
absolutely great.
games. Though there are some people who love doing games, but I don't. I hardly play games nowadays, so I don't have much passion for games.
Okay, so we're getting to the end of the interview. I loved sharing this space with you. I mean, what you have told us, it's so amazing, because it gave us such a nice, I mean, portrait of what's going on in Nigeria and with the job. As I told you before, you are probably the youngest guest that we have ever had here. So that's amazing, and that makes me feel very proud. So in the end, I mean, it all relies to the message that we would like to send in this channel. That is, um, in the future, the world would be interconnected. I mean, there would be no difference either if you're born in Canada or in the US or in Nigeria or in China or in whatever, right? I mean, um, you can have the same opportunities. You can speak the same language, right? As we were talking about programming languages. And so I would like to end with a message for people all over the world that may be watching this video. What would you like to say to them, in terms of this international entrepreneurship in this world of opportunities, of global ideas? What would be your message for the global community, Kelly?
Well, the main thing I would say is just keep doing what you love and all those things. And why doing what you love? When you think of your creativity, don't only think about it like, don't only think within your local environment. Think your and that way it will help above your local environment. Try to put yourself in the situation of other people, other places, and not just in the space you see, but try to explore. Even if though due to the internet now we can know how other people in other country live. So when you are thinking of it, when you are thinking of an idea, also think how it could also affect the other continents and other spaces aside from you in a good way too. So that will increase your entrepreneurship and all those kind of things.
That's great, and that's a great message, Kelly. So thank you very much for accepting the interview. It has been so inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. Well, let's keep posted, Kelly. Of course, in the information below this video, we will find the way to contact you, your social media. Thank you again.
Okay.
Thank you everyone, and see you on the next one.